Rick here with another Facebook Live. Today we are very lucky from the Southwest office to have the Spatz Group. We have Tanya Spatz-Rodriguez and Eddie Ortiz with us today.
Hello.
So let's start off with you, Tanya. Tell us a little about yourself. Maybe even how you got in the real estate business. I know you're doing other things. Tell them all the goodies.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Start at the beginning.
What was the first question?
Tell me a little about yourself.
Tell me
and
about.
maybe how it evolved in getting into real estate too.
Okay, so I started a company in 2008 when the market fell, actually 2009, doing property preservation, which is taking care of foreclosed properties and coordinating services.
You basically take over the property, do the electricity, do the everything.
Well, no, it's more actually like the maintenance because
Okay.
they're required by law to maintain the properties. And then I would be involved with real estate agents on the daily, basically. And then agents I'd always be referring business to agents because people would be like, oh, is that home for sale, etc.
Right.
So then I was basically like, why am I giving business away? So I went and got my real estate license and then told my husband to get his real estate license as well. And then it just kind of grew from there.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh, so you started actually just maintaining the properties, working with realtors.
Correct.
And now, be honest, when you were working with realtors, did
I
you
thought
say
they were the worst. They were the worst.
Exactly. She beat me to the punch. I was going to
Yeah,
say, if this person can do this, I will kill it, right?
Yeah, actually, that's the truth, though. I was like, geez, if this is the communication, because I really found the communication was super lacking.
Right.
So when I decided to do real estate, I was like, I want to make sure that I'm always reachable and, you know.
And I found that, because we're in California and Arizona too, and I'm from New England originally, but I found when I moved to Las Vegas, the communication with real estate agents, it's like they don't answer their phone.
No, oh
And
my
it's crazy.
God. It is shocking, actually. As a matter of fact, I got a phone call. I did a deal last night at like 9:30. I answer my phone 24/7, even 2 o'clock in the morning. So
And it's going, yeah.
No,
It's the
sure,
truth.
we're always reachable.
it's the truth, and all of our phones ring through to each other. So if somebody doesn't take a call, somebody else is there to answer it. So we're always reachable.
Even our main business email is one email. We have a shared email between 3 of us. One of us is.
What a great idea.
It actually is that way. And one person, it really me because I'm so OCD, but I'm big about answering emails within minutes of receiving them. So if I don't, they know something's wrong. So
That's OCD in a good way.
It is.
OCD in a good way.
People love that kind of service.
Yeah.
You get repeat referral from it.
Absolutely.
They tell their friends.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And you guys are also involved in insurance too, aren't you?
We do. Yep. My husband and I, we own an insurance brokerage, so we handle that side of it as well, property and casualty. So he basically runs that on the day-to-day. I have nothing to do with that except I negotiated the franchise agreement on that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it a national franchise?
It is. It's a franchise.
Which one is it?
It's an LA insurance, but
Oh,
it's
cool.
a little different than the other LA insurances. We're located up in the Northwest. We kind of have different carriers like Progressive and Travelers and things like that. So we're a little outside the box.
Cool. Awesome. How about you, Ed? How long have you been doing this?
I have been, so she got me to get my license
I paid for it and
she
told me
did.
to do it.
About 3 years ago. So I graduated from college. So I grew up with Tanya's boys, her 2 sons.
Oh, cool.
When I moved to Vegas, I played soccer with them. So I've known her for 17, 18 years now. So come graduation time from college, I was supposed to actually a health major. Got my degree in science, health sciences, and then she's like, hey, come work for me in the summer. So I was helping her maintain the bank properties, and then she said, you're gonna get your license, and I said, okay. So I got my license, and now we're here.
You've been doing it ever since.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't regret it.
And when you guys started, especially when you started too, you were at the tail end. It was like the crappiest of the crappiest.
It was the crappiest.
The average sale price at that time here was $125,000.
Oh, it was awful. I mean, I felt so bad for people. I mean, and you have to understand on the property preservation side, I mean, we're changing locks on people's homes, and it was not like
Cash the keys.
it was really bad.
Yeah.
Evictions, and it's not a business.
And you feel bad for people
You
too.
feel awful for the people, but you also see the other side of what people did to their homes,
Yeah.
and that was shock. I mean, it just was not a fun time.
Yeah.
It was not a fun time.
I don't know. I've been doing this for 38 years.
Wow.
I've been through 2 crashes: the late 80s
Okay.
and then 2000. In 2008, probably 7 and 8 was probably worse actually.
Yeah, it was depressing actually. It was super sad.
It's
But
a lot more fun now.
it's so much more fun now. I mean, it's a lot of fun.
It's just different challenges, but with the average sale price is close to 500 in Vegas now.
Yeah.
450 something.
Now it's kind of gone the opposite way. You would think, you know, prices would have fallen and they haven't really, and it's an interesting
inventory
market.
thing, I think.
It is an inventory thing, absolutely.
Yeah, and when the
Absolutely.
interest rates start coming the other way, and the Fed is hinting that they might start
I
getting
don't know if they're ever gonna fall that low again though.
No,
I
probably-
mean, that was, I think, a
Yeah.
once in, I mean,
Once in a
people,
lifetime.
yeah, I mean.
when they were threes, honestly, I'm gonna tell you, I didn't think we'd see 8 again, and we just saw 8 for a brief period, which is, I was struggling.
I know.
I think you'll see him come back to the 4s and 5s.
Do you think so?
Not
I
right
think it's
away.
gonna take some time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the 6s for sure, but definitely the 4s and 5s, I think so.
Yeah, but people, you know, like
They're
myself,
spoiled.
yeah, we have a 2.25% interest rate. Nobody's gonna sell their home. That's part of the problem. I
Yeah.
mean, there's low interest rates right now.
And then a lot of investors own homes too now.
That's true.
So, and a lot of them are holding on to, you know, like in other countries, home ownership is so, you know, it got to a certain point where it just mushroomed. And that might be happening here.
Well, we worked with REITs
Mhm.
during COVID for the past 2 years, the last 2 years of COVID, where they were buying, we were
We
doing
did about
50 homes a
50
month.
homes a month.
Well, tell them what that is, what they don't.
So it's a real estate investment, and basically they have to reinvest money into properties, but what they were doing was they were buying, I mean, they were sending 250 offers a week, and basically just killing everybody on the
Right.
offers, and what they were doing was they were buying to rent.
Right.
So they own huge numbers of
I'm
these
not-
properties.
If I'm not mistaken, I think when we met with them, they told us they owned, in that buying market, they owned, what, 63% of the homes?
Yeah, they
alone?
did, they actually did, it was,
And we did every one of them.
yeah, yeah,
That is crazy.
yeah, it's a
It's
lot.
great. Yeah, and some people are even claiming, like some of the politicians and so forth, they're claiming foul with all, because a lot of the investment, you know, instead of in Wall Street now, they're taking their money and they're going into real estate because it's such a great return.
Absolutely,
And it's like diamonds, I mean, it's
Yeah.
really, the inventory is so tight. There's so many more people that can buy versus homes available.
Yeah.
And that's why the rental market's so good too.
Yeah, but then that also crashed on them too.
It did.
Because as fast as it started, it just
Right.
stopped. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a very interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so back to you. So you got in, you started with, I like that home restoration, which it means really securing properties and getting them,
Trashing them out,
Right.
cleaning up the mess.
Fixing them
yeah,
up,
boarding
getting-
the windows, getting squatters out. I mean, it was.
chasing people away,
Yes.
putting blocks on there, making sure
Yeah,
that
no, we
nobody.
just did an eviction about a month ago.
Yeah, we did actually. Yeah, it's not gone. I mean, we still do it. It's just minimal. I mean,
Minimal, yeah.
Minimal.
Because people have equity.
Yeah, but it's
Right.
nice because we kind of get an early indicator of what's going to happen in the market. When we start picking up on that side, it's like, it's interesting. I always know what's happening before it actually happens
Right.
because they start kind of amping up.
Right.
So it's very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
such an interesting business.
Yeah.
Especially since you guys you really have I've so far heard 3 tiers: insurance, property restoration, and
Well, I
rental.
did that kind of on purpose because the market constantly is cyclical, right?
Right.
It goes up and down, and I also do business consulting. So I stepped back and I looked and I was like, basically, every industry is cyclical. Real estate will boom, real estate will crash. Insurance goes up, insurance goes down. Investors go up, investors go down. Foreclosures go up, foreclosures go down, right? So I said, what if we take all 3 components and leverage them against each other? Because they never tend to go the same at the same time, obviously.
Right.
When foreclosures are going
Smart.
up, real estate is going down, you know, and vice versa. So I thought, how can we protect ourselves if
Always
this happens
busy.
again,
Yeah.
that it leverages each thing?
Very
So
smart.
our businesses are cyclical, and that's
It's
how
almost
we
like a
set
diverse
that.
portfolio.
That's really what we did. And if you can't be creative in this market, it's just, you have to be able to move with the times and become creative.
That's so awesome. What a great idea.
Yeah.
Very smart. So how's your real estate business going as far as the sales and listings and all that?
So up until this year, we were doing really great. Real estate, as you know, has really had a challenge. I mean, we're probably closing a few a month. I mean, we have a closing coming up. It's just slow right now, honestly.
Right. A little slower,
yeah, it is slower right now.
Definitely.
Yeah.
How about you, Eddie? How are you doing over there?
I'm with her, so slow, and anything that we get, I'm always involved with her,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You guys work as a team.
we do, we really do.
We're together every day, so yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, it's good. It works.
Yeah, it does.
You guys are both workers. That's important.
Yeah.
Do it.
Every
So,
day, every day of the
we're-
week.
Last night we're on the phone at maybe 9 at night,
Yeah,
so
we were
it
actually.
doesn't stop for us.
Yeah.
I think I have a new logo for you. OCD in a good way.
I am OCD. I am OCD.
In a good way.
It is a
It's
good way.
effective. It's
Yeah,
effective.
no doubt.
It's
Yeah, I
effective.
mean, for somebody to be on top of all the things that you are is very impressive.
Well, you have to be. I mean, I cannot sit, even when I'm sitting, taking a break for a minute, I have to be like cross-stitching or playing a video game or something, because I can't just sit.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
You have all kinds of energy. I
I
love it.
do.
I understand. I do
Probably
too.
too much.
Yeah.
I know, you come across as the same energy, actually.
I do have a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And I've learned to focus it in certain areas, but sometimes, I get carried away too.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you mean, yeah.
So tell us, okay, so I'm thinking about taking my business to the next level, because you guys have a lot of good stuff going on. What would be, give me like 2 or 3 things that you would say are musts to be successful in like a market like today?
Oh, so, I mean, I don't want to sound so cliche, and
No.
I really thought about these questions, actually, but I was like, I don't want to come up with canned answers, but I feel like my answers might not be the right answers and might come across
There's no wrong with them.
too negative, and I don't want to be negative,
No,
but
okay.
the truth is, real estate is owning a company. And I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm just gonna get my real estate license
Right.
and look at it as, oh, it's just gonna happen. And the truth is, it's a business.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna own a business, you have to be willing to put in the time, because it's not gonna come unless literally I am up at 2 o'clock in the morning working
Right.
7 days a week,
You
24
have
hours a day.
you have entrepreneurial spirit running through your veins.
I do, and
You
if
do.
you're not willing to pay that price, I don't
Sure.
have a life, I don't get to go out, I don't, and the little bit that I do, I'm constantly just thinking about work.
Right.
So, if you're not willing to make that sacrifice, I just don't think it would work for somebody.
Well, if you like Grant Cardone, if you listen to Patrick David, they all say you have to have a certain level of obsession about what you do.
You do.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think you have
so,
to be willing to adapt.
you really, and that's the other thing, you have to be creative. If you just think
Good
real
point.
estate and you're just thinking this one little, real estate crashes. I'm sure, you said you've been through it twice. And
It's not
to
pretty.
not have anything else to fall back on, and again, the diversification, right? I
Yeah.
think you really need to have something to fall back on
Right.
in times when it's tough.
Always have a plan B.
Always have a
Well, you
plan.
guys have plan A, B, and C.
We do.
I love it, but
Yeah.
I think it plays a big role. You adapt. So we went from doing REITs to doing cookie cutter. Every home was the same in and out.
And now we do
line.
the
And now
Apex.
we do Apex, where it's more custom and more tailored to a specific client.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, tell us about that Apex. How involved with them and what exactly?
So
they do?
we're their designated contractor here. So I was
Oh.
brought on with Fresh Designs. They're a general contracting company during COVID. Again, diversification, right? And I'm so OCD and I'm really big into business development. So
You're the one Aldo was talking about. Okay, now I'm putting it all together.
are you putting it all together?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
It's coming together.
It's coming together. So basically, I told Fresh Designs I kind of have this idea of going after this niche, being in real estate and insurance and property preservation. There's a void for real estate agents and people who want to sell their homes with a general contractor that's not crazy expensive, right? And that is just catering to that market.
Right.
So I understand that communication is important. People don't get return phone calls, and getting pricing back is super important. And I understand the real estate side with requests for repairs and how important that is in a transaction. So we decided to really just cater to that market. Aldo called my husband, I think it was just like a blanket call, would you be interested in coming to
Right.
Berkshire? And my husband was like, I don't have time to go to this appointment, can you go? And I'm like, I really don't want to go to this appointment. I'm like, Eddie, you have to come with me. So we go meet Aldo.
And that's an experience.
That was an experience. And he sat down and just went right into like the whole real estate thing.
Oh, he's
And
good.
at the end, I was like, oh my gosh, I really appreciate it, but unfortunately, we're not just real estate agents. And I kind of went into it. And he's like, I want you here. And I was like, okay, well, we'll think about it. Months go by, and that's when he brought up Apex Group. He's
Yeah.
like, what if I can get you in with Apex? And I was like, what is this? And then we met with Fred, and it just worked
The next
out
day.
amazing.
Yeah, isn't he great? Fred's great.
He's
it was
great.
great.
So what we do is, for instance, if you're doing a transaction and you have a request for repair, you just email over the inspection report and the request for repairs. We put together all the pricing and we send it usually same day. And then that way your buyers or sellers know the costs
Right.
involved with it. And then with Apex Group, if you have a buyer or seller who needs work done on a home,
Right.
they fund
Well,
that.
that's what I love about it, and I love that he's involved in, you guys in it too, but is because the person doesn't have to go just to the iBuyer, right? And
Correct.
get that quick, okay, you don't have to worry about anything priced.
Correct.
This way they get that price,
Yep.
then you guys come in, fix it up,
Correct.
and then they sell it
Yeah.
And then after the fees, the seller, so the seller, a lot of times has two paydays. The original one, go out buy a new
That's
property.
exactly what they have.
And that's
Yeah.
why it's such a good, because it's a win-win for
It is.
everybody. For
It
you
is.
guys, for Fred, for the,
It
for the,
is.
for the seller who becomes the
Yeah.
buyer. So it's it was such a great idea when I heard
It
it.
really
is.
is a great idea.
And us being involved on both sides, working with the general contractor, but also as a real estate agent, we're honest. Truthfully, we're honest as a group,
Right.
and we can look at a property and say, sure, we can add X, Y, Z to this, but if your point is to just get it sold,
Yeah, we'll tell people
We'll
you
tell
don't need to
people
do
you
all
don't need to
that.
do all
that.
Yeah,
If you want to get sold for more money, and
correct.
yeah, some of them need a decent amount of work,
Of
but some of them
course.
don't.
Oh, we've had, yeah, there's been a couple that we've done that have been, I mean, one of the properties we did, I mean, we had to do permits and it was a whole reconfiguration of the house. Yeah, it was a good project.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And then you said we resell them.
We do not,
We do
we're not
not.
involved in the resale.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
We are not, no.
So you guys just do the general contracting part?
Correct.
Okay, I think you did say that, yes.
Correct, yes.
All right, cool. So, so of the 2 or 3 things you started off with, you gotta be flexible. First off, you gotta be a little obsessed about your
You have
business.
to be very obsessed about your business.
Secondly, you gotta be versatile and flexible, have other alternative routes. And
Correct.
I teach the same thing in my success series,
Yeah.
about like which way you're gonna create your business.
Yeah.
Because as long as you don't owning real estate is great, but if you own too much when the market changes, right? Your sellers and buyers change, but if you know the process.
Correct.
All right, so give us one more. So we started with, I love what you said, you being a little obsessed, because not many people are willing to admit that. And I
But
think
it's the truth. There's nights that I'm literally crying because it's 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm like, oh my God, I just want to sleep, but you can't because
and your husband
there's-
wakes up with you and says, oh, it's gonna be okay.
No, he's like, oh my God, go to sleep. Turn the iPad off.
I had that feeling. That's funny.
Yeah.
And then versatile, okay, so give us one more. One more good one.
I would say, I would say honestly communication. I
Okay.
really find that that's super lacking.
It is.
I really do. I can't tell you how many times I call agents and they don't answer the phone and I find it extraordinarily
It's so weird.
frustrating.
Yeah.
And so for me that you have to set yourself
Be
apart.
accessible.
And you have to set yourself apart. You have to be different.
Right.
So, I just like to be a
Well,
little...
communicating well, giving them all kinds of options, being super professional and available.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, in this business is different.
Yeah, that is true, which is very sad. I think
Yeah.
that's very sad.
It's sad, but it's also an opportunity for
It is.
people that,
It is.
because I think we have a good thing going here. Berkshire Hathaway is a great name, we
It
have
is.
great agents like yourself, both of you, so I think it works out really well when.
No, and they really have fostered everything that we can bring to the table. That's what I appreciate about it.
Mm.
That they saw what we can offer, and it's just kind of, here, let's kind of help with that. And
Right.
I do appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, any final words you want to leave these lovely people? By the way, this has been a blast.
Oh, yeah, you've been
You were a little
amazing.
nervous at first, but you were great.
Yeah, because I'm just not, I really
Great
not
information. You too.
thank you
Yeah.
for having us.
Yeah, thank you
My
so
pleasure. Any
much.
final words? And before you hang up, Paul, I want that phone because I want to show them what you look like today.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I love the costume.
Awesome. Let me have it. So I need to show you what Paul looks like today on Halloween. Everybody, look at that. I'll have a cappuccino, please, and put the extra.
You got it.
Oh, okay. All right, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.